This video is all about feminine marketing and why it's the best way for heart-led leaders to sign clients online who are soulmate clients, clients you love working with. Hi again, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Delusional Growth with me, Diram Faith. I've been obsessed with feminine marketing because there is no better way right now than an approach in marketing that feels authentic to our soul, that feels like us, not like memorized masculine scripts that we use to close clients, right? I don't want to close clients. I want to open things up for them. I want to open up visions for them. So let's talk a little bit about what is feminine marketing and how it's different from the masculine strategies out there. So traditional way of marketing is really pain focused. This is the main thing that differentiates feminine marketing because it's focused so much more on desire than pain. It doesn't mean we're never using pain, but we are not solely focusing on that. Traditional approaches of marketing was shaped in a masculine way because it was used mostly to sell things to men, right? But right now, especially if you're selling to women, you really don't want to be pushy and, salesy, and you don't want to do things just because a marketing guru told you to do. You want to do things that feel good to your soul, right? So I always use the analogy of dating when it comes to feminine marketing, because imagine you see someone you like and then you reach out and then you say, hey, do you want to marry and have 5 kids together? And obviously they're going to say, no, leave me alone, right? But if you, reach out to them and be like, hi, I like your shoes. And then you start a conversation around shoes and why you like them. And then maybe you invite them for a coffee. And then after the coffee, maybe you will have a dinner date. Then you kiss. Then, years along the line, you might marry and have 5 kids. So it's all about building a relationship. And it's not focused on one single goal of like getting in bed or marrying or, having kids, whatever. But it's focused on the long-term shared vision. And feminine marketing is very similar. We focus on building a relationship other than just focusing on one single thing, which is most of the times is the sale, right? This doesn't mean that we don't want the sale. Like, of course we want the sale. If you have a business, you have to sell. Otherwise, you just have a very expensive hobby, right? But it just means that feminine marketing is not only focusing on the sale. And I feel like this feels so much better if you're a heart-led leader than just thinking of selling something to someone. Now, don't get me wrong. I think selling is beautiful. My definition of selling is serving. So I always love it when someone sells to me with permission, or when I get to sell someone, because imagine you had found the cure to cancer. What would you do? Would you try to sell it to people, or would you keep it for yourself? Of course, you would try to sell it to as many people as you can, right? I mean, you could give it to people, but you would have to start selling it at one point because you couldn't be able to afford to give it away to so many people, right? So if you truly believe your product or service can change the lives of so many people, it's literally your ethical responsibility to sell it to them. And I love sales because of this reason. But I know that some people have bad connotations of sales because they've been sold to without their permission, or they've been sold products or services that were not really providing the value they promise, right? So this is why we need to start slow while building your relationship. And feminine marketing is a great way to do that because as women, we are so good at connecting, right? I mean, this works even if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. We both have feminine and masculine energies within us, but we know this at heart. We know how to build a relationship, how to connect, right? And once you start connecting with your dream clients, they're not even prospects or leads. They're your dream clients. They're your soulmate clients. And I really feel this when I say it because I really have those clients and I really had those clients. And when you follow this while interacting with them and you start seeing a vision for them that they might not see for themselves in the beginning, and then you help them see that bigger vision. So you are the leader, you are leading them, you're influencing them on a better, bigger, much bigger vision, right? So now you have a shared vision, which is so beautiful. And if you do this with your content, your clients will feel really seen in your content. They will feel seen, they will feel heard, and you will also let go of fear of being visible. Because let's admit it, it's very common, especially in the coaching industry, we have this fear of being visible because what if we grew too much and we were the kids who were told we shouldn't be too much, right? We should just be silent and not express our opinions or feelings, right? And we have this inner critical parent or this person whose voice we internalize, who's always telling us to slow down. And this way, we actually start, feeling very unsafe to be visible, and we start self-sabotaging ourselves. We say, I want to be visible. I want to make 10K months, 20K months, 50K months. But a little voice inside us is saying, no, that is not safe to do that. It is not safe to post content. And if we use those masculine approaches of like going directly to the sale and being really pushy and aggressive, then that voice is just getting louder because it goes, this is not you. It doesn't feel good in your body, right? We need to find something that feels good in our body, in our system, in our mind, body, and soul, so that we can continue implementing it. Because marketing is not something you try just once, just for one day or week or month, and then hope to see a result. It takes a little bit of time, right? Let me check back my notes because I think about this topic all the time and I took some notes. So I want to talk also about a feminine soul-led funnel, which I call Feel Safe or Soul-led Launch Sequence that I created. This is so special because it is a launch sequence that's going to help you to build your business, but also have so much fun in the way and feel really safe at each step. So let me explain how this is different than masculine webinars. I feel like we overuse that term webinar. So by now, when you hear it, you're like, no, I don't want to do a webinar. I don't want to post consistently, right? And that's okay. Those are not the only ways to succeed. So in my world, what we use with my clients is called a feminine soul-led launch sequence, which starts with you leading your clients towards your high-ticket offer, but there are a lot of touch points at every step. So I see heart-led entrepreneurs making this mistake all the time. They share content and then, God bless their heart, they just want to work with people. They want to provide value, right? So they provide so much value and then they expect people to sign up to work with them. But that is such a big jump, right? That is a masculine way. It is like going on a date with a guy and then he wants to go home with you. And the first date, you're like, no, I barely know you, right? So that's why we have this sequence and you know exactly what to post at every step of the sequence. So basically every post you have, every interaction, every email, every story, every post on any kind of social media platform that you are posting, they're all serving a purpose. We never share something without a purpose because we don't want to spend years of our beautiful life on social media, right? I don't know about you, but I love spending time in nature, traveling, spending time with my family and friends. And we want to make sure that all of our efforts on social media are serving to a purpose. So we post consistently, but not daily. And everything we post serves warming up the client towards our offer. And right before our offer, we hold special soul-led events in which we provide even deeper value, because there is only so much value that you can provide in a Facebook post, in a reel, or even on a YouTube video. I'm telling you guys all the steps, but I know that the people who actually take action on these steps are gonna be like very little percentage of people compared to my clients who get better results. Why? Because they work with me, right? So we wanna make sure that our clients can get results and they can have like a trailer of those results in these soul-led events. So we meet on Zoom with these potential clients and then we showcase our work to them. It is like going on dates, when you're gonna marry someone, you don't immediately, rent a new house the next date. On the second date, you first go on the third date, fourth date, and you might spend, you might do a holiday to see how you're getting along. So these events are like that. It's for us to show our potential clients how it would be like to work with us. And in these events, we sell in a feminine way as well. I feel like this part is so important because I see so many heartland entrepreneurs, they want to make sales, but they're not selling enough. And I get that. And I think the main reason for that is because they have this bad connotation for sales, which is true for masculine sales, but not really for feminine sales, right? So we want to make sure that we are selling in a way that feels good to our soul, but we are selling. In the end, we are selling our heart out in these soul-led events. In the beginning, I always take permission from my clients, from my potential clients. I say, I'm going to be selling to you guys because I love this. I'm obsessed with this. And I sell in a feminine way that feels good for me and that feels good for them. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if this resonated. Comment your favorite emoji. If you have any questions, share them in the comments. If you have any ideas for the next topics, post them in the comments. And if you are feeling the pull, book a free call so we can chat deeper to create great results for you. And I will see you in the next video. Ciao.